Hello,
Cool.
everyone. I'm Scott Belford, joined by the one and only Keegan Matheson, MLB.com. Been doing cut-ins on Overdrive on TSN. Your book, The Franchise. Can we call it a hit? I think that's safe to say.
I like it. If you say
Yeah,
it first, I'm cool with it.
yeah.
Then I'm not the asshole. I like it.
Well, let me tell you, Keegs, you've had a pretty big 2025. Congratulations, man. This has been like the year of Matheson.
Thanks, man. I'm just riding coattails, really. If the Blue Jays had sucked, I would be, I'd be back of the pack with them. But it's been fun, man. It's now that I've gotten a couple of months to kind of exhale a bit, it's been fun, and I know I still look like I'm wearing it. For our viewers, I don't know if this goes up on video, Scott, but I promise I just have a bit of a sinus thing. I didn't take a huge edible before this podcast. I was doing some TV the last couple of days, and I looked at it after and I said, "Oh my God, like people are going to think I was blasted on this
I'm a
show."
baked.
Wow, we knew that about him, but we thought he had some professionalism. But no, it's been a good year, man. And I I was so kind of tuned into it from the beginning, right? From mid-season, I guess, just because of the book when it came out in early June.
Mhm.
And we'd talked about this, but I'd always said the book itself, the quality didn't really matter up front. Down the line maybe, but it was always going to be about whether the Blue Jays were good and if people gave a damn, right?
Mhm.
And that's kind of, I mean, I'm in the business of people giving a damn about baseball. It's good for my job. It's good for people around me. It makes my days more enjoyable to be part of, when people care about this team. 'Cause I've covered bad teams and
Yeah,
everybody's cranky,
you sure
and
have.
it's so this year was fun. It kicked my ass, left and right and up and down for sure.
Oh
But
man,
it's
I could
fun
tell it
year,
was a
man.
grind, Keegs. I could tell it was a grind. And honestly, dude, it's kind of funny too because I remember having a beer with you after Baseball Town in June. Your book had just come out, and you had kind of said, "You know what? What a relief. It feels like I'm back to only working one job again."
Yeah, oops.
And now here you are. It looks like you've got a an additional chapter you got to write after this year, right?
I do, and thankfully that's done. Now, that was gosh, that was on my mind. I selfishly, let me admit, but as that final game was playing out, because goodness, like many of us, I thought the Blue Jays were about to win the World Series,
Yeah.
and the for some reason the thing I remember was that I had gone into the back of the press box into the bathroom, and I had changed out of my dress shirt and tie into just a shirt like this, casual shirt, because through the clinch in Tampa and the AL East clinch, the DS and the CS, in all of those champagne celebrations, I'd stayed dry, you know, and many times, and I still thank them for this. Many times, players or coaches had come up to me with a bottle, but they had kind of given me the luxury of like that 1 second of like, "Hey, Keegs," and I'd say, "No, please, God, no. I've got to get on an airplane because most of these things, the game is at night. I've got a 5 a.m. flight the next day. If you spray
You're
me
like,
with
if I'm gonna
beer, like
stink of alcohol in the morning, I'm doing it the old-fashioned
my
way.
way." And listen, like I've been asked to like not get in taxis after celebrations and stuff, right? Like you stink, you just stink. But all of them, multiple players, even leading through the World Series, were reminding me that I had told them, win the World Series, you can do whatever you want. So I had gone into the back of the press box and changed my shirt. But I was also sitting there in the ninth inning thinking, crap, like if they win this, I need to start the new book tomorrow,
Yeah.
And there were going to be two different projects actually that were lined up. So unfortunately, that does not exist.
Yeah.
But we are going to reissue, kind of a re-release with a chapter added. So there will be a full long old chapter that will at least keep the book modern for another year. Then maybe if they win a World Series, I have to next time. But yeah, I remember that thinking I'm good, just working one job now. But I think that's when I took TSN on right after
Yeah,
that,
that's
and
right.
I think I'm just sick in the head. I just wanted more
Well,
punishment
man,
after
I
that, but
really enjoyed the book. I know we've talked about this, but again, like such an accomplishment and
thanks, man.
congratulations. I can't wait to read the next chapter. And of course, in true baseball fashion, they are sure making us wait for these last big heavy hitters to drop, dude. Like when you look at the position players of it all, the Kyle Tuckers, the Alex Bregmans, Bo Bichette, I mean, they're still on the market. Keegs, have you heard
Yeah.
anything? Like, is there anything for us fans to look forward to? Like, does it look like that this log jam could come to an end sooner than later? Or are these guys just like, are they going to make us wait till spring?
It's got to be soon, man. I feel like teams at the top are waiting for one of them to maybe take a deal like Bregman did last year, where you'd say, okay, screw the long-term stuff, but give me 35 or 40 million
Right.
with a bunch of
Give me an
opt-outs.
opt-out. Yeah.
Because like the potential for, and God, I hope this never happens, but the potential for a labor disruption a year from now, like that's probably more of a factor than we're talking about out loud.
Hmm.
And I hope it's never a factor and we're just, baseball keeps this hot streak going. But I feel like when you look at Tucker, Bichette, when you add Bellinger in there, you add
Hmm.
Bregman, like those are the top guys. And I don't think it's as crowded among buyers at the top. And when you hear like the Yankees are talking like little brother right now, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not being the Yankees. The Red Sox seem like they want to spend, but they haven't really laid that on the table yet. Like the
I
Blue
mean, they've
Jays
made some
are the
savvy
one team.
trades, but they haven't really just opened
I
up
like the Contreras
the
trade,
vault.
but the Blue Jays are the one team that said, "Screw it, we have money, we're going to spend it." Everyone else is trying to be smart. And when you try to be smart, a lot of the time you end up looking stupid. The Blue Jays decided who they liked, they jumped the market and they got him. Easy.
Mhm.
And I still cannot see a world where they don't get one of these big bats. Like it makes too much sense. If you get Ponce with Cease, with Rogers, who I keep almost forgetting in
Yeah.
all of this, and then one of the big bats, that's one of the best off seasons this organization's ever had. And it's going to be coming off a World Series run. Like that's a stupid good offseason.
Hmm.
The ace of the market, Tyler Rogers, who I know isn't a sexy name that throws 99, he's really damn good. He is
Yeah.
so good. Ponce could be the big upside play, and then adding a big bat like Bichette or Bregman or Tucker, like that's huge, right? But it's just got to move, and I feel like everyone's waiting for the other side to blink. And I feel like not enough teams are acting like big dogs right now. I think everybody's being a little timid because the Dodgers, I mean, everybody runs out of money at some point. I think the Dodgers are a good example of a team that would love Kyle Tucker to say, screw it, I'll take 45 mil for a year with an opt out, right?
Yes.
It's probably never happening. But you have too many of those teams involved right now. And you also have the quantity where if you're the Blue Jays, for example, the difference between Tucker, Bregman, Bichette, Tucker's the best player, easy. But if you can still look out at the market and see multiple guys that would fit your team, you can wait for who gets cheap. And then everyone's just waiting. So, my God, man, I wish we did the NHL offseason where it's one day
Yeah.
and, I sit on a panel with 78 other men wearing suits for some reason on TV and talk really seriously for 3 hours. And then we all go home for 3 months. But it's, man, the MLB offseason, it's a drag. It's a
Yeah,
hard
it
sell
is.
to a casual fan, man.
You know what's funny, Keegs, is the CBA looming. I think you really hit on something there. I think that this is a little bit bigger of a matzo ball out there
Yeah.
than most people are giving it credit for. Because even if you just look at the projected money of some of these guys, right? Like 2 weeks ago, I read a thing about Kyle Tucker, and it was kind of claiming this was Bob Nightingale, and he was claiming that things were heating up for him and that he could hit $400 million over 10 years. 1 week after that, I read from John Morosi that maybe the Kyle Tucker market is softening and we could see him take like a 7, 8 year, 220 million. Like that's a pretty massive
Yeah.
discrepancy in projected money there. If you can get one of these guys, like you said, to like take a 3 year Alex Bregman deal with an opt out, I can see why they're sitting around waiting on this. Like,
Yeah.
you could really save yourself some money. Let's talk the AL East here because you know what? You mentioned Tyler Rogers. Let's dive into Rogers for a second here. I wasn't even going to bring him up, but I mean, the truth is, he could probably wind up being the most important piece in this bullpen moving forward. And in my mind, if I'm managing, I probably slot him into that eighth inning, and he's just that guy. He just goes to it every eighth inning. He's got a rubber arm. He's going to pitch the most innings out of any guy in the bullpen this year. I think is probably the hope of the Blue Jays, anyways, knock on all the wood. How do you see him being deployed? Do you think it's going to be that rigid? Do you think John Schneider's going to give him a defined role? Or do you think we're going to watch this bullpen kind of be used moment to moment, situation to situation?
I think he's pretty heavy eighth, seventh, eighth with Garland. You try to figure out, and that's a fun matchup to play, right? Because you try to figure out seventh and eighth inning are coming up. And I think the big decision that Pete Walker and John Schneider will make all year is okay, which six hitters are coming up in the lineup? And ideally, you're going to get three out. So a pocket of three hitters and a pocket of three hitters. Which group is going to have a harder time against velocity and which group can be deceived with Rogers? You're trying to match up style on style. And I think that playing them back and forth as the seventh and eighth inning guys makes a ton of sense.
Hmm.
Now, this is assuming that Jeff Hoffman steps back in as closer and is rock solid, which I'm not sold on right now. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but unless you can say 100% that it's going to happen, you got to have options. You need to be open to that. But Rogers, I think, is going to throw like 80 innings, right? Like he is so durable, as most submarine guys are. And he's just so damn good, man.
Hmm.
Like it's the arm angle is very interesting. There, this is selfish again, but whatever. Every year I can tell that there's something that Blue Jays coverage is going to get obsessed with.
Yeah.
And there are here's how I'll say it. There are certain things when we get into analytics and very inside baseball savant stuff. There are certain things that I find quite interesting and valuable. There are certain things that I recognize will be leaned on as the story of the day every single day by people who can only cover baseball by doing a math project.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the way I'll say it. And so I know I'm in for a lot of arm angle talk this year. And I can handle a certain amount of it, but I can picture myself by like day 11 of spring training just thinking, shut up, cover baseball. But it is a different look. There is something to that. I kind of liked in Tyler Rogers' intro press conference, he got that question and he was like, I don't really think about it. I said, cool. So it's going to be really interesting to see them mix and match with him, but he's just so good. He is so good. And because he does not strike out a million people, I don't think he gets the attention of regular back end arms. But this is such a good contract and a deal that I think the Blue Jays should feel very good about going forward because he just solidifies things.
Hmm.
The Blue Jays have enough guys who have volatility, both in good and bad directions. But someone who is just rock solid. Like I think back to what year was Adam Simber, I know is the easy comp,
Yeah.
but I want to go back to that really good year he had in Toronto, which would have been, let me bring that up. Yeah, into 21
2022.
and 22,
Yeah.
where it was never the flashiest, sexiest thing. But, that 2022 season where he had the 2.8 ERA, like
Hmm.
Rogers is so solid. And I think that John Schneider is going to be wearing a Tyler Rogers jersey, man. Like he is the ultimate manager's reliever because when everything's screwed up, you can just say, put in Tyler Rogers. He's going to force a few guys to hit really ugly ground balls and pop up, and he's going to get you out of it, man. Like I loved that signing. And it's not a name I'd
Oh,
even thought of because I was so focused on Ryan Helsley and all the
yeah.
big power arms like everyone else. I hadn't thought of Rogers, and I should have.
Well, when you start digging into Rodgers, you do kind of get where the Blue Jays were coming from, right? Especially
Yeah.
after losing the World Series in the fashion they did, right? Off that home run in a late inning. And you look at Tyler Rodgers, he doesn't give up dingers. Like,
Yeah.
he does some things really nice that maybe if you're after that big back end of the pen guy, you don't think of, right? Because he's not doing it with velo, he's not doing it with K's, he's not doing it in the traditional way of shutting guys down. But he doesn't give up home runs. He's a
Yeah.
ground ball machine. It's so difficult to get a read. It's just like there's no hard contact off the guy. I'm excited to see him pitch.
I can't wait, man. He's going to be fun in spring training. And I feel like we still in baseball think that the ninth inning guy needs to be the power guy because what if a guy gets on, blah, 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 you need a strikeout? Well, if you put in Tyler Rogers, nobody will get on. Like
Yeah.
I think that people automatically go, okay, if Hoffman let's say for now, just if Hoffman needs a day off, it's Varland. I'm pretty open to Rogers, frankly. I know that we're still really stuck to the hard throwing closer,
Hmm.
but I think that your ninth inning guy should just be your best reliever. Who gives you the best chance at putting up a zero and winning the baseball game? I don't really care how he does it. I don't care if he throws underhand, whatever. Right now, that's probably Rogers.
Yeah.
I'm not saying over Hoffman. Hoffman's the closer right now. That's not a thing. But if he needs a day, or if you're trying to ease him off a little bit, Hoffman's not going to close every single game this year. And Rogers, I think, can step in and try to be that man. Like I'm so interested in how he fits this bullpen, man. It's a really cool signing.
I kind of like that he's 35 too. Bit of an
Yeah,
old man, not bad. Um, Jimmy Garcia, like this
yeah.
is have you heard anything on him? He's healthy, supposedly, right?
He is, and he's supposed to be healthy coming into spring training. Um, I presume he will want to pitch in the WBC.
Yeah.
My thought with Jimmy is, I mean, number one, so damn good,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, he's a real wild
every
card here this
he
year.
is every spring training. I show up on February 10th or 11th, and guys are just starting to throw their first bullpens of the year. And Jimmy Garcia is dripping sweat throwing 98 already. And I don't think he needs to be. In the past, I've looked at that and been like, oh, cool. This guy's just kind of like dad strength. He'll be the guy throwing 95 when he's 48 type thing. And now that he's gone through the elbow issues, I'm like, okay, well, do you need to be doing that? Is that ideal? Probably not, right? So I hope for Jimmy's case, he can have a full healthy season because this has been annoying for him. It's been frustrating. And he's a really, really good reliever when he's
Mhm.
healthy, but you don't know what he's going to be. Now, early last season, we were sitting here rightfully saying, like, 2 years, 15 million. What a deal. Like,
Yeah.
what a contract for Jimmy, right? And you trade, like, trading a guy away and signing him back, ultimate fleece job. Just great.
Yeah.
But now when the elbow comes in, back-to-back years of elbow problems, it doesn't usually tend to get better for a guy who's in his mid 30s. We'll
Hmm.
see. I'm kind of mentally planning this bullpen as if he's a bonus. It's I would write him in there right now, of course, because if he's healthy, he's really good.
Yeah.
And he's probably in that number four reliever, Hoffman, Varland, when we go, God, who were we just talking about? Rogers,
Rogers.
and then it's still December, and then Jimmy Garcia. Like I think he's that good, but man, it's hard to project. And this bullpen's weird now too with Lauer, whatever the hell is going to happen with Barrios, which can't be a bullpen. I don't know how this is going to shake out. Two Rule 5 guys, like
Yeah.
it's going to be a wacky spring training, man. I like it.
It's going to be fun. I was just reading about Tatsuya Ime and the fact that his
Yeah,
deadline is up on Friday, which means we're going to see something this week, right? Like this is the most sought after pitcher coming out of Japan this year.
got it.
Everyone kind of had him pinpointed at 150, 200 million dollars. Some team was going to take a risk on a guy who's never pitched in the big leagues, and I mean, we saw it work out. I mean, Yamamoto was kind of our our dagger to the heart in the World Series. So you can see what the upside of some of these top end Japanese pitchers are. Have you heard anything on that front? I mean, we are days away. Does it seem like there's no way he just goes back to Japan, right? Someone's gonna step up.
No, I don't think he goes back, but there's not as much. There's not as much out there because, frankly, with North American free agents, most of what's out there is complete BS put out by people who want their names aggregated and said over and over and over again. And with Tatsuya Imai, just like Murakami before he signed with the White Sox, like nobody was predicting that type of deal. Um, there's just not as much BS because those pipelines don't exist as much
Right.
between agents, trainers, their people, their inner circle with media who are either performing journalism or performing something else entirely. So I feel like we don't get as many of the leaks or fluff pieces about Japanese and Korean players coming over. So it is really shrouded in mystery and it's fascinating. And I wish every player in all of Major League Baseball had a signing deadline. It's awesome. Like you open your you get to choose when you open your window, but you've got a month to sign. Let's raise the stakes here. I love Imai, man. Like he is not only a fascinating pitcher, I think he's got some moxie, man. Like I
Yeah.
think he's cool. I love that interview that he did. This was God a month ago or so talking about how he wants to beat the Dodgers and how he
Yes.
wants to not just follow other Japanese stars, but be his own star. That he it looks like he's got some style. Like this is a cool personality, man. And I'm so excited to watch him pitch. Like I'm at the ballpark a lot. Like when I come home, like if Otani's pitching or something, I'll watch it. But I'm not always coming home to watch more of my work, right? Like
Yes.
so, but Imai is a guy who I will come home and watch his first few starts in April. Like that's how interested I am in him. And fascinated to see where he lands because it's a mystery. Like there's
Let it be the National
no
League.
like yeah, come on. Let him enjoy that. But it's fascinated to see where he goes. And this is a big one, I think, for future Japanese pitchers coming over as well.
Hmm.
Because when you see someone like Yamamoto, for example, that was undeniable. He's going to be a star, and holy, he is. But when we look right now at Tatsuya Imai, he's kind of on that good, very good line. And with him, you're talking about will the velocity translate? Will the movement translate to the major leagues? Yamamoto, I think, was beyond that conversation.
Yeah.
But Imai is still kind of in that conversation. So I'd love to see him come and have success just to continue encouraging so much of this great Japanese talent coming over, man, because this is a real golden age for it. And I love it, man. I love the media attention it brings. I love my friends in Japanese media who get to come cover this. Like it's really cool, really good for the game to have more Japanese Korean stars coming over, man. And it's
And there's
like
more every year. It's
it's
pretty
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Really good, man. It's been a great run.
I'm really curious to see how, as we see some of these offensive Japanese players coming over, how that translates, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there is a already established pipeline for pitchers, but we're gonna see how some of these bats do. I mean, I'm Saya Suzuki, obviously, like he's been quite good, but
I'm
I
excited
am
to see
curious.
Murakami in Chicago, man. I love
Yeah,
that deal. Man, the White Sox, like,
it was a
hey,
great deal for
it's
the White Sox,
sweet
without a
deal.
doubt.
He might strike out 1 billion times, but his highlight reel will be unreal. Like
Well,
I
Keegs, there's
think
no
that his
downside to
home
that
runs will be
signing for them.
it's perfect. Like if that signing busts, you just pretend he
Who
was a
cares?
reliever or something. Who cares? That's no money in today's MLB. I know the White Sox aren't spending big, but they've got cash. Come on, be
Yeah.
serious. That's a really cool deal. Allows him to hit the market again. I hope he mashes, man, because he could be like, again, he might strike out 1 million times. It might be pretty rough, but
Hmm.
I bet you that he is going to be up like he might flirt like Vladdy level, like exit velocity, how hard he can hit a baseball. And he is a big cat as well,
He
man.
is.
He's my kind of baseball player.
Okay, Keegs, let's talk the AL East a little bit because
Mm,
this division is worrisome at best for every fan base in it. It feels like every single team in this division still has a pretty major move left in them.
yeah.
It also feels like there could be some very, very good teams looking on the outside to the in of the playoffs here. Teams that may finish above some division leaders in the rest of baseball. What is your way too early prediction for the AL East? What do you think the Jays need to do if they want to win the division again?
Ooh, they still need to add that big bat. They still need to do more because the division's going to be better next year, I think. Tampa will take a big step back in the right direction, I think. Baltimore will not have another year like that at
No.
all. Like I promise everyone that will not happen. And I mean, I think the Yankees overachieved a little bit last year. So even if they are better, I think it kind of balances out. Boston scares me, man.
Hmm.
Like I think that Boston's young talent having into that second year, that great wave of young talent that they have. And I don't think Boston's done. Like I think people should be afraid of Boston for Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
And man, wouldn't that piss people off for a long time. But the Red Sox, I think, are going to make at least another big move. And I think that's a scary thing in this division because then you get into every team. Like there's no resting place. Like 6, 8 years ago, the Orioles sucked. Everyone, and this is back when you played more games against division rivals, so everyone could pick up plus 10 wins over the Orioles. and the rest of the East kind of rose up with that tide that's not there anymore. So I think that the Blue Jays are in very tough to win this division again. But I think that's what the standard needs to be. Like, I can't go back to this BS about being happy to creep in on a wild card.
Yeah.
No, stop it. That was exhausting. That was very Toronto mentality for too many years. Golly, happy to be mentioned in the same sentence as the
Yeah.
Yankees because we're both invited to the playoffs. No, that is small market thinking. The Blue Jays need to be going after the division. I just think it's going to be really damn hard. And I think it's going to be really crowded. Someone will fall off a little bit from this group, probably Tampa or Baltimore. But I think the top of this division will be really tight, like a more than just a two-team race. And man, like the East could send four postseason teams next year. I'm trying to
They
think around the
could.
AL.
They
They
literally
really, really,
could.
really
It could
could.
be
Yeah.
Seattle and whoever wins the Central
Yeah.
and four AL East teams.
God.
I
Really
don't
could
like
be.
it. I don't like it, Keegs. Out of curiosity, and listen, I really am not the speculation guy. I It drives me nuts doing a podcast all about like what if this, what if that. Bellinger, Tucker, Bregman, Bichette. What would you, if you had to put a percentage to the Jays getting one of them? You going over 50%?
Yeah. One of that group, yeah. Absolutely. I'd be pretty heavy on that. And I know that everybody keeps saying they want two, they want both. I mean, they already got
Yeah.
Dylan Cease. I mean, Jesus,
Yeah.
it's they've already got the best starter, the guy who might end up having the best season of any reliever signed, and they'll be getting one of the best bats. That's good enough. But heavy, 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 way over 50% expect them to get one. Now, I'm trying to think of how I would rank the likelihoods. I still think Tucker and Bichette are so tight at the top, probably followed by Bregman with Bellinger at the back end of that. But again, you're kind of, when it comes to Bichette and Tucker, you're still kind of comparing Bichette plus what you could get with Tucker, because Tucker's going
Mhm.
to make a lot more money. And the price level is going to really matter here. And I think Bichette's market is the one I'm most interested by because I know there's lots of talk about how he's open to second base, but like he's got to be a second baseman. If the Blue Jays roll out Andres Jimenez at second next year with Bo Bichette at shortstop, I'll lose my mind. Like
Yeah.
that's not their best team, okay? And everyone involved needs to recognize that. I think Bo's really sharp, and I respect the hell out of him. I think he recognizes that too. He's a good baseball mind. He knows how this works. But other teams are going to look at his aging much differently. Like he's already slow, and he got slower last year.
Hmm.
He is way closer to Alejandro Kirk than the fastest guy on the team than you want to be, right? Like his speed on the bases was a problem. And how will teams view him moving, laterally side to side in the infield as a defender? We'll see. Because some teams are going to get nervous about that. And I'm a big believer in Bo. I think that whoever lands him, I can say it before seeing the contract that I will like the contract for them. Because
Hmm.
like I'm such a believer in Bo. But free agency is all about poking holes in guys. It's not about what you love about them. Like we already know
No.
what everyone loves about Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
It's what's wrong
What
with
don't
him.
you like? Yeah.
Yeah, like there was that. Like, wasn't there reporting about? Oh, does he love the game? I don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
like some of the days I'm best at my job is when I'm angry about it. I don't know. Like whatever. It's fine. It's we don't need to turn this into hockey. Does he love it? But you're going to see that about Bo Bichette too, probably more than any of those guys, right? So that'll be interesting to see how teams poke holes. I think that the team, if five teams were to put in bids on Bo Bichette, I think they're a million miles apart.
Yeah.
I hope he gets a good top end deal, but it's going to be pretty wide, man.
Well, let's end on this then. If one of those four big bats land in Toronto, which you're giving well over 50%, and I kind of feel the same way, it just makes too much sense for them not to do it, especially when you're looking at the landscape around the AL East. Win this division. There are some really interesting trade possibilities out there
Yeah.
because the Blue Jays are going to be operating from some sort of strength. Wherever that bat fits in, right? If it's Bo, they'll have outfield. guys, or sorry, infield guys that we could see moved, and vice versa. If it's a Tucker or a Bellinger, we could see some outfield Nathan Lucas types that
Yeah.
are available. And what's really interesting is that these are guys that are under control and very affordable, which really opens up your trade possibilities to so many teams. Is there any, and I don't need actual like imaginary trades that you're thinking of, but maybe pull on one of those threads there. What could we see the Blue Jays trying to do after they land that bat?
Yeah, I feel like that's where either another reliever comes in or kind of an accessory bat. You know, like I think back through where they might have a need here because in past years they've always liked to have that second bat behind Vladdy on the bench. I think Brandon Belt, Justin Turner, Daniel Vogelbach,
Yeah.
Ty France, those types of guys. Ideally, you can find something like that in free agency, but the Blue Jays will have some surplus. Like that could definitely be where they turn to bolster the bullpen as well, or to improve a spot like backup catcher, middle infield depth. But I look to the outfield definitely. Nathan Lucas. I even think of Joey Loperfido. Man, like he didn't get many opportunities last year, even when opportunities were open. And if you are a crappy team, if you're down near the bottom of baseball, like Loperfido's the exact type of player who should be coming in and playing every day for you
Hmm.
because he's talented and he's young, he's good. So I think that when teams look at Toronto's depth, that'll be attractive. They have prospect depth as well. That's very good. It's people overthink farm systems when it comes to trades. They can make any trade they want. Okay, you're not trading for Otani. They have enough. They can do whatever the hell they want, right? As long as you're not the worst farm system in baseball, you're fine. You can go make trades, and 5 years from now, we'll look back on that trade and wonder who the hell was that prospect ranked number four at the time. They now play in Division Two Mexican League baseball. Whatever, like they can do anything. So I think that's where my intrigue goes, and then into free agency, or sorry, into spring training, what they do with Barrios. You know,
Hmm.
it's if the video game mind and everyone says, okay, they already have five good starters, trade Barrios. Okay. I respect Barrios way too much to let that World Series stuff kind of define how I view him. You know, like he has that reputation for a reason of being one of the most consistent pitchers in Major League Baseball. He was their nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award and would have been fully justified winning the Clemente Award.
Yeah.
And like he's a guy who I just respect the hell out of. And I know this has been a rough couple months for him, but come the end of spring training, come early in the season, maybe by then there are more conversations being had about how this can look because you have Lauer in there as well who can start. We'll see. Somebody could shake an elbow. Somebody could
Yeah.
look terrible by then. These things take care of themselves. But there's options and there's excess kind of everywhere, which is a great thing. You know, like they have legitimate excess all over this roster.
I mean, Eric Lauer could be starting in AAA and for no fault of his own.
Man,
It's a lot of
he's
depth.
all he's done is overachieve and nail every assignment. And
Yeah.
Lauer's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he'll be pitching somewhere, but it's crowded. Like when I look at this bullpen, it's a weird musical chair. Something's got to happen in that bullpen.
Mhm.
When I write it down, like I'm forcing myself to like leave Braden Fisher out of it or something. Like that can't
Yeah.
happen. You know, like he was until Savage showed up. He was their best rookie last year, right?
Yeah.
Like he was an unreal story. So something needs to happen where depth is reallocated somehow. I'm talking too much like Ross now. I've been hanging out around the front office. The reallocation of depth may be the solution here. We can recreate Braden Fisher in the aggregate or whatever, but there's got to be something where a little excess over here becomes a need over here, and they're in a real position of strength, man. It's an enviable place to be.
Keegan, I so appreciate you taking the time to chat, man.
Absolutely, man.
It's always nice catching up and talking some Blue Jays with you. Folks, check out The Franchise. It is an excellent book by the one and only Keegan Matheson, MLB.com, and you can catch him on Overdrive on TSN these days. Keegs, Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year, man. Spring training will come real quick. Some would say too quick, but very quick.
Cheers.